Welcome to Seven Trumpets Prepper. Guys, in this video today, I'm going to have a discussion with you. I'm going to ask you a question, and I encourage you to answer in the comment section below. But with that said, I'm also asking a genuine question that we all should be asking ourselves, okay? And that is this, is if we give in to the situation at hand right now, and we take and do the ultimate deed of taking the poke and adjusting our genetic structure, why should the Most High owe us anything after that? All right, now I know that's going to be a deep question for some. I know this is going to animate people. Before I get too deep in this video today, I want to say two things. Make sure to go over to Odysee, subscribe. It's free. It's ad-free. The link's in the video description below. Look for content that's going to be popping up over there over the course of the months ahead that's not going to be available here on YouTube. Also, if you haven't gotten this book, I encourage you to check it out. I started reading on this and finally got a copy of it. I think that it's definitely a handbook for the days we're living in. I think aside from the Bible, the book 1984, this is going to be probably third place right now. But anyway, I finally got a copy of that, so I'll let you know how that goes as I work my way through it. Now, I'm going to get in the scripture in just a minute, but I want to set a premise for you, okay? I want today to look at this. I want you to not look at this as the mark of the beast, okay? Let's just say for the moment we discount it that it's not the mark of the beast, at least in the hand. And I am more and more sold on that at this point because that the fact that they're trying to force everyone you cannot buy and sell, do commerce without it, okay? As far as the mark in the head, I still am always sold on that's going to be worship, mental agreement with the beast power as far as worship goes. And I just don't think I can be convinced otherwise. But with that said, if you look at Noah's day, the past always defines the future many times, right? Nothing new under the sun. So when you look back in Noah's day, there's something very important. Okay, I'm going to read this from my laptop today. If you don't have a Bible to get the word out of, I encourage you to get your Net Sefer. Excellent book. Hallelujah Scripture is excellent as well. It says here in Genesis 6 and 9, these are the generations of Noah. Noah was a just man and perfect in his generations. And Noah walked with Elohim. Now I want to point out something, because I dug deep on this in that Sefer, and I noticed this got people animated when I posted on Facebook. A post in my personal Facebook that said pretty much, if Elohim, and long and short of it, I was like, pretty much, if the people in the past wasn't spared Noah's day, then why should people be spared today for messing with their DNA, right? Now, an interesting point to be taken from that is when you read in his generations, people want to be like, well, I mean, people want to dismiss that. If you actually look in the eSword, one of the definitions of that deeply is his generations, like his genetic legacy, right? His ancestry. And that's interesting because that means that if you look at that in deep detail, this guy was upright, okay? So you don't need to really reiterate that. He was obviously a just man, but his genetic makeup, from what we can gather from that, was perfect, right? Now, if you look at that situation and you see that all these people perished, except for the 8 in the boat, right? And then you look at also another situation shortly thereafter, like Sodom and Gomorrah, the act of sodomy and things like that was going on there, and then it was destroyed. The question would have to be presented and asked today is, why is that destroyed then and would be accepted in the, accepted and okay today, right? What went on in Sodom and Gomorrah, right? Well, the same question will be asked, well, why would that be okay today? And the answer is not, right? Because, what is it, Malachi 3 and 6, Yahuwah change not, I believe is the correct verse for that, is that, people are being deceived to give up their being. That is so scary. And folks, I know I hammer this like crazy here lately. It's almost like I've took up a whole crusade. But, I've really been sitting and looking at this in the scripture. I've been looking at this as a whole. And, people are being tried right now like gold. like, fine, go, and don't nobody come break in my house steal it. This is just a notepad. It's my little gold pad. But, I mean, I'm telling you, like, this is the time of the trying by fire, and it's only going to get more, the fire's going to get turned up more and to burn the dross off, right? And, you know, the scripture talked about it in Matthew 24:24, said that for there shall arise false messiahs and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible they shall deceive the very elect. So people are definitely being deceived, and you look at Revelation 18, that the nations were deceived by sorcery, drug, pharmakia, and we're right at that threshold. We are watching this all play out before us, and you know, fear is the mind killer. Okay, and I remember back when this first kicked off. All right. Is that I seen the news, I seen all the panic and stuff going on over there in China, and I thought to myself, man, this is like straight out of like Resident Evil, out of Raccoon City situation going on here. And it really scared me in the beginning. And then I had to think to myself, oh, this is the news. It's always, whatever's on the news is always a lie or overplayed or downplayed. It's never the accurate report. And then on top of that, what is really going on? And of course, with time, I've seen it for what it is. And we're at the point where everybody's having to make a conscientious decision and choice. And something that I've set back, because I try to always put myself in someone else's shoes. And I think I might have brought this point up recently on another video, is that somebody would categorize me probably as a religious zealot, right? And that's okay. I take no offense to that. I've never harmed nobody that I know of or anything. So, you know, all I've tried to do is build up everyone around me. So that's fine if you want to label me a zealot or whatever. But for me, I don't want to dishonor my creator by adjusting something that he made me the way he wanted. Fair enough? If I was a political person, okay, and I would say, well, this is encroaching on my constitutional rights. It's pushing me in a direction in that which I do not want to go, right? If I was an atheist, I would look at this, because many atheists are all about evolutionary process. They're all about, you know, this is billions of years in the making, blah, 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 blah. We've got to follow this course, blah, blah, blah. And if I was an atheist, then I would be like, okay, I don't want to mess up the evolutionary process because we're dabbling in that. So anyway I stack this up right now, it is just no way I could stack it up. It makes any common sense to me at all to give in. Not only that, looking at the statistics of how unreliable the Pope is. Now, the question I want to pose to everyone after saying all this is looking at the scripture, looking at history, looking at everything, the statistics and all, is why in the world would the Most High owe it to save anyone, spare anyone, communicate with anyone, help anyone that has contaminated their DNA, right? Because if the people of old were wicked, the people of old contaminated their DNA, of course, with, you know, fallen angels, with the giants from the fallen angels, just this continuous process of messing up the genetic coding, and no longer being what we were originally intended. If they were not spared in their day, why should we be spared in our day? Now, seriously, sell me why, number one, it's okay to even participate at this point in what's going on, and two, why that the Most High owes it to anyone to save them at that point. I'm serious, dead serious question. Because if you cannot answer those two questions with a logical, reasonable solution from the scripture, you're in a bad spot. And I really feel sorry for everyone that has been deceived in this and give in to this, because there's no turning back. Secondly, I'm thankful. I'm so thankful for everything that's went on, because it is such a clarification and such a vindication that we are living in the time of revelation, because many are in denial of that. Now, the great thing about it is when the trumpets finally do engage, okay, when the trumpets finally do start, for everyone that has believed in prophecy, from that point forward, you can hit cruise control. And what I mean cruise control is you can be at peace in your mind, because the world's going to be a mess. So we need every mental bit of our mental real estate to be able to focus on that, the situations that are about to arise. However, you can be at peace knowing that the Most High's word is solid as a rock from there all the way back to Genesis. And that's so important, because everybody's starting to try to discredit the word. People starting to try to discredit everybody. And, we're to the point where somebody called me the other day that I've known for many, many years, asking me to sign off on their religious exemption form, because, me being part of a ministry, that they're of the same belief system. They needed somebody to sign off saying, hey, that verify that, that person believes that way. And that's pretty sad, folks, that we've got the point where that even your faith, you have to go get somebody else to back up now that, hey, this person does believe this way, just so you can avoid this situation going on. That's what I'm saying. Like, where we're arriving at, if you do not think we are in the end times where people's being deceived by pharmaceutical drug sources, where you don't think that a mark is being forced upon people, if you don't think that the sifting is taking place, if you don't think the trumpet's around the corner, I cannot help you anymore. The 10-year legacy, the decade that I've been on here, pretty much about to be, I think, May of this year on the pagan calendar. Also, if you haven't checked out the Father's Looney Solar Scriptural Calendar, you need to check that out at worldslastchance.com. But this is a critical mass point that we're at, and you have got to start asking the tough questions. And that one question needs to be asked is, why would y'all owe me anything at this point if I comply and give in to this, when I can look back in the pages of history and see similar stuff going on, and those people were not spared from the day of wrath? Answer me the question. As always, guys, till we see you again here at Seven Trumpets Prayer Channel. Hope Most High Yah Baruch you and keep you, make his face shine upon you, show you favor, and give you shalom, my friends, in these dark days, I pray. In Yahushua.